Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tell me your story.
Where do we begin? We've known Henry since 1984, since we moved in our house. We really got to know him when we had our first child, Craig. So when we got to know, when we had more time to talk to them, we learned about his whole family. So Tess was the oldest, and then there was Stanley, and Stanley was shot down in World War II. They always felt a missing piece because they never ever knew about what really happened with Stanley. Over the years, people would call Henry and say, if you send me money, we'll give you information. And he would get upset and he would cry and he would come over. And we say, Henry, we'll take care of it. If anybody calls, just give them our number. I'll talk to them. We were happy that Simon got in touch with us so that we could bring closure to this great story.
And who was Simon?
Simon Rowe was from the Sister Cities program with Gastonia, North Carolina. And then we got to know them and got to hear the rest of the story of them, finding a piece of the plane and contacting JPEG. And then Henry was excited when we had to do his DNA. When they finally contacted us, they said, okay, we need DNA. And thank goodness that Henry was still alive, because they said familial DNA is the best, the brother to brother. So Stanley's plane went down in the barley field. There were 2 eyewitnesses to the crash. And when the students from Gastonia, North Carolina went over, they were able to interview the German nationals that had witnessed the crash and actually went to the crash site. So they knew that there had been a plane crash there when they found the piece of the metal that was from the plane that has the serial number on it. They contacted JPEG and somehow it got lost, misfiled, we don't know. Then in 2008 we gave Henry's DNA, and then it pretty much died. We knew in 2009 that we were on the dig list, but we were so far down there was no knowledge of when it was going to happen. Then in February of 2015, when Henry died, we kind of said, well, he knows now because he's with Stanley now. At least that's what I believe. And we kind of let it go. We just said nothing would ever happen. Fast forward August of 17, we get a phone call. I get a call from Jackie, and JPAC was nice enough to call me as well and say, we've made positive identification of bone fragments from his head, and we have some other, we have teeth, and they matched his dental records, so we do have positive identification. And we were all in tears, because now we could finally figure out what all happened. And then after that, we were thinking about when to do this, and I reached out to the students from Gastonia, since they were a very important part of this. I think without that visit happening in June of 2008, that's really what got everything started again. So I wanted to make sure that they could be here. So we decided to do it in January, after Christmas and after the holidays, so that we could all really enjoy the moment. When we pulled up, there weren't too many people there, and then the motorcycles started coming in, and all of the veterans. Henry was very patriotic, and he would have loved yesterday. So that was hard, knowing that most of the tears that we all shed were because of Henry not being here. It was a happy day. So the going outside, hearing the taps and the 21 gun salute, which Henry always loved to hear when if we went to funerals where the military were present, was awesome. At the end, there were 6 young women who came up to us, and they were from Dover Air Force Base, and they had worked on Stanley's DNA and matching it to Henry's. So that put everything together yesterday. That was amazing. There were friends there. There was Craig's family, my family, our children and their spouses were there. Everybody was there that meant something to Henry and that Henry meant something to them. So the perfect ending for a great story. Thank you to the DPAA for never giving up on our lost soldiers and bringing them home. And of course, thanks to our active and retired military for our freedoms, because Henry would have wanted me to say that.